The lights were the first thing everyone noticed. They weren't flashy. No blinking patterns, no music. Just warm white Christmas lights, perfectly arranged, evenly spaced, glowing softly against the dark winter streets. The kind of lights that made you slow down as you drove past. The kind that made you feel safe. That's why no one questioned them at first. Our neighborhood was the kind people moved to for quiet. Tree-lined streets, identical driveways, lawns trimmed even in winter. Every December, families competed politely who had the cleanest decorations, the best wreaths, the most tasteful display. Nothing excessive, nothing loud. The Henderson house stood at the corner, 2 stories, white siding, a porch that faced the street like a stage. And every year, their Christmas lights went up earlier than anyone else's. I moved in 3 years ago. New job, new city, same routines. I walked my dog every night around 9. Same route, same houses. That's how I noticed patterns. The Henderson lights were never off. Not late at night, not early morning. Always on. At first, it was comforting. Walking past the Henderson house felt like passing a checkpoint of warmth. The lights reflected off the snow. The windows glowed faintly, though no silhouettes ever passed behind the curtains. I never saw anyone come or go. Neighbors said the Hendersons were private. I believed that. Until the first incident. December 12th. Police cars lined the street just after midnight. Quiet lights, no sirens. By morning, word spread. A delivery driver had been found collapsed on the Henderson lawn. Cause of death, cardiac arrest. It was sad, but not alarming. Cold nights, stress, long hours. Still, one detail bothered me. The lights were still on. A few days later, an elderly woman slipped on the sidewalk near the same house, hit her head, never regained consciousness. An accident, people said. Coincidence, but I noticed something else. Her fall happened directly beneath the brightest section of the Henderson display. Before this story goes further, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed something in your neighborhood that felt wrong, but everyone else brushed it off as nothing? If so, keep watching, and later share what it was. Because ignoring patterns is how this story gets worse. After the second incident, I started paying closer attention. The Henderson lights weren't normal LEDs. They gave off a subtle hum, barely audible, but constant. You could feel it more than hear it, like standing near a power transformer. My dog refused to walk past the house anymore. Every time we approached, he froze, ears flat, pulling backward. Animals noticed things first. Small details began stacking up. Birds avoided the trees near the Henderson yard. Phones lost signal when passing too close. Snow melted faster under the lights, even in freezing temperatures. And the brightness, it didn't dim, ever. December 17th. Another death. A teenage boy walking home after a friend's house, found slumped against the Henderson fence. No visible injuries, no signs of struggle. Cause of death, undetermined. The police interviewed neighbors, asked if anyone noticed strange behavior. No one mentioned the lights. I tried. The officer gave me a look, the kind that ends conversations. I started questioning myself. Was I projecting fear? Connecting dots that weren't there? Until the night the lights reacted to me. I slowed down while passing the house, and they brightened. Not all at once, just the section directly above me. As if responding, I stopped walking my dog at night. Others did too, but people still drove past. And then, on December 21st, traffic cameras caught something strange. A car drifted off the road near the Henderson house. No braking, no swerving. The driver's eyes were wide open, frozen. Rumors spread quietly. Electromagnetic interference, experimental lighting, illegal wiring. But no inspectors were ever allowed inside the Henderson home. Records showed the owners hadn't paid electricity bills in years. And yet, The lights burned on. December 23rd. A winter blackout hit the entire neighborhood. Street lights went dark. Houses went black. Except one. The Henderson house glowed brighter than ever. The lights pulsed slowly now, almost rhythmically, breathing. I stood across the street, watching, and then I saw movement behind the upstairs window. A figure standing still, facing outward. Watching the street, the lights surged. My head filled with pressure. A sharp, disorienting sensation. My vision blurred. I stumbled back, heart racing. That night, 3 more people were hospitalized after passing the house. Authorities finally intervened. The Henderson property was seized. The lights were shut off. The house went dark for the first time in years. Investigators found no illegal wiring, no generators, no explanation for how the lights had remained powered. The Hendersons were gone. No forwarding address. No records past a certain year. After the Henderson house was seized, a few of us expected answers. None came. Weeks passed, then months. The official report was never released to the public. What little information leaked out only raised more questions. An electrician who briefly consulted on the case reportedly quit halfway through the inspection. He didn't give a reason, just packed his tools, got in his truck, and left town the same day. Another neighbor claimed she saw city workers removing sections of wiring from beneath the lawn late at night. Not during normal hours. No marked vehicles. Just floodlights and men who didn't speak to anyone. The soil where the lights had been anchored was strange too. Nothing would grow there afterward. Grass died within days. Snow melted faster, even years later, leaving a dark outline where the decorations once stood like a scar burned into the earth. I requested public records myself. Most files stopped abruptly. Electrical schematics were missing entire pages. Maintenance logs jumped backward in time, referencing inspections dated before the house was built. One note, buried deep in the paperwork, stood out. Subject exposure time exceeded safe limits. Recommend discontinuation. No subject was ever named. That's when I realized something chilling. The lights weren't just decorations. They were never meant to be seen for that long. Christmas Eve arrived. The neighborhood tried to move on. Decorations came down, life resumed. But one thing remained. Burn marks in the shape of wires etched permanently into the Henderson lawn. And every December since, that corner of the street stays unnaturally warm. Last night, I drove past the old Henderson house. Someone had put up lights again. Warm white, perfectly spaced, glowing softly. If your neighborhood has a house no one talks about, pay attention. And if you have a theory about what those lights really were, share it in the comments section below. Subscribe for more chilling stories. Some decorations don't celebrate the season. They mark territory.